Hi, this is Dean Graziosi, and welcome to this week's blog. Hey, I got a really good message I want to share with you today. We've kind of been on a great little pattern here. We talked about not letting other people influence us, not taking direction or guidance or listening to people who are unqualified to give us advice. And I think we both know, if you haven't watched recent blogs, you can watch the week priors over on the weekly blog section. But that's what we've been talking about. We've been getting so much feedback from you guys that I wanted to kind of stay along these lines. Now, we talked about taking the wrong advice. The wrong advice is really expensive, by the way. If you get horrible advice and you go in the wrong direction by someone who wasn't qualified to share, that's really costly. But here's what I want to share with you today. I'm a part of a couple brainstorm groups. If you watch these video blogs, you know I'm a part of what's called the Genius Network, which is basically the 25K group. I'm also a part of Strategic Coach, which I love Strategic Coach. I get together 4 times a year. Dan Sullivan is the trainer. He's the owner of the company. He has lots of other trainers, but I get to be fortunate enough to work directly with Dan Sullivan, who I admire, and he's one of the greatest entrepreneurs on the planet. Helped me become a better person, a better leader, a better teacher, and a better businessman. But in the last session we had, just a couple weeks ago, I flew up to Toronto, and we talked about something that I think you're really going to get, and I hope I can do it justice, because we talked about it for about a half hour and had lots of charts and diagrams. But basically the whole concept was this. The reason so many of us deal with daily frustration, daily worry, daily stress, is because we are comparing ourselves against an ideal picture of ourselves. Let me explain. I know I'm guilty of this. We want to be a certain weight. We want to make a certain amount of money. We want our relationships to be a certain way. I know as a parent, I want to do so many things to make sure my daughter is well-rounded. She's loving and caring, but she has empathy and she's sharing, but she also understands humility and all these things. And sometimes when I think I'm not doing enough, I'm comparing myself against the ideal dad, my ideal dad, not someone else. So here's what I want to share with you. This, again, we went through this topic over a long period of time. I'm going to try to cram it in a couple minutes. There is a certain ideal you that you picture, a certain amount of money, like I said, certain weight, certain looks, certain relationship qualities, certain parenting qualities, you at your job, whatever it is. In most cases, we will never reach that ideal. I know I do it. And when we do, we compare ourselves against something that's not reality, and we get frustrated, not looking at all the incredible things behind us that we've achieved. So here's what I'd love for you to do. How he described it is the ideal. The ideal world is there for a reason, because that's where you pull your goals from. That's where you pull ideas from on how much weight you want to be, and you put it in actual. But here's the thing. I had a conversation with Matt Larson just 2 days ago. Matt is doing unbelievable, making tens of thousands of dollars every single month now. Matt's one of our students. If you're just watching this, he's one of my students that 3 years ago, living in a 300 square foot apartment, machine shop worker, 70 hours a week. Now he's a retired millionaire doing hundreds of deals now. He's on the 150th deal, but now he's doing 2.5 deals a week right now. Pretty amazing stuff. So here's just an example. I'm using Matt for example. If your ideal is, I'd love to be Matt Larson, making that much money and doing all those things, and you work your tail off, and you get one deal done in the next 4 months, 6 months. If you don't turn around and go, oh my God, just a year ago I knew nothing about real estate. I was scared. I thought I got scammed on an infomercial. I didn't want to talk to a realtor. I didn't have any money. I didn't have any credit. If you turn around and go, oh my God, I did all this, and I accomplished one deal, good for me. You could wake up feeling grateful and satisfied. But what we all do in so many cases is we compare ourselves against the ideal. We get that one deal done. We don't look back at all we've done. We look forward to the ideal and go, yeah, but look what Matt Larson's doing. Look how Dean lives. Look how these other students. Look what Rena's doing. Look what Carol Stenson did. I only did one deal. I'm a loser. Absolutely not. Even if you didn't get one deal. What if it took you 4 months and you got the perfect realtor, you built a buyer's list, you built a seller's list, you got a title company, you got hard money, and you got people in your family supporting you, and you have a better mindset. Instead of looking at a certain part in your life and go, well, I haven't done my first deal yet, I'm a loser, turn around and look at all you've accomplished. So what I want you to really think about today is I want you to take that ideal and know that it's a fantasy, but pull little pieces from it and set a new bar of goals, okay? So in the next 6 months, if you haven't done a deal yet, Why not saying, I'd like to get one deal done? Or in the next 3 months, I'd like to build my buyer's list. I'd like to talk to 5 real estate agents. I'd like to have the perfect real estate agent on my team. I'd like to find one person who would lend me money for a down payment or deposit. Whatever that is, set some actual goals that maybe you pull out of this ideal world up here. And after you go that 6 months, you accomplish some of them, do yourself a favor. Turn around and pat yourself on the back for all that you've accomplished, rather than comparing yourself against something that may never happen. And when one step at a time, believe me, that crazy ideal world could become a reality by accident, rather than stressing and worrying and not giving yourself the pat on the back like you deserve. I hope I did that training justice. I hope you realize what I was trying to share with you today, that you've already come so far by watching these videos, by being on this site, by being a part of our Success Academy, or having the Set for Life system. You've already made calls maybe. You've already posted an ad on Craigslist, or you've downloaded your buyers, or you're called a real estate agent. Pat yourself on the back. You're on the path to greatness. I'm Dean Graziosi. Thanks for watching. We'll talk to you next week.